Imagine this, you're speeding down a rainy Lagos highway, divorce papers tucked in your glove box like a loaded gun. Your heart is hammering because tonight, you're finally telling your husband it's over. 8 years of lies, cheating, and pain end now. Then bright headlights cut through the rain. Tires screech. Metal screams. Everything goes black. And when you open your eyes, you don't remember the betrayal. You don't remember the fights. You don't remember packing your bags to leave him forever. But he remembers everything. My name is Amina Okoro. At least, that's what the man holding my hand keeps calling me. This is the full story of how Amnesia tried to steal my life, how my husband tried to bury the truth, and how I rose from the ashes to destroy the man who once claimed to love me. Pull up a chair. This one is long, painful, and deeply satisfying. The first sound was the machines. Beep, beep, beep. Like a heartbeat that wasn't sure it wanted to keep going. My throat felt like sandpaper. When my eyes finally opened, the hospital room swam into focus. White walls, fluorescent lights, and him. A tall, broad-shouldered man with smooth dark skin, a perfectly shaped beard, and eyes that looked red from crying. He squeezed my hand so tightly I almost winced. "Amina, my queen, thank you, Jesus." His voice cracked with pure emotion. "It's me, Kwame, your husband. You've been out for 2 whole weeks, baby. The doctors didn't know if you would wake up. But you did. God brought you back to me." I stared at him, searching for any flicker of memory. Nothing. Just a blank wall where my past should be. Who are you again?" My voice came out hoarse and weak. He laughed through tears and kissed my knuckles. "I'm your everything, Amina. We've been married 8 beautiful years. We have a home in Ikoyi. You work in marketing. We travel. We laugh. We dance at Awambe's until morning." The accident took some memories, but it can't take us. A kind-faced nurse walked in. "Mrs. Okoro, your husband is a rare gem. He refused to leave this room. He sang Amazing Grace to you every night. He even brought your favorite perfume so the room would smell like home. You're a very lucky woman." Lucky. That word would later taste like poison in my mouth. They kept me under observation for 3 more days. Kwame was there every second. He fed me spoonfuls of pepper soup when I could barely sit up. He told me stories about our life together in that deep, soothing voice of his. "You remember the day we met?" he asked, smiling. "Your cousin's wedding in Abuja, December 2016. You were the most beautiful bridesmaid in that coral lace dress. I was best man. I tried to do the latest Azonto dance and spilled palm wine all over your shoes. You looked at me and said, 'Brother, are you drunk or just clumsy?' I replied, 'Both, but mostly struck by your beauty.' 6 months later, I was driving from Port Harcourt to Lagos every weekend just to see you. He showed me photos on his phone. Us laughing. Us in matching traditional attire at our engagement. Us on honeymoon in Cape Town, kissing with Table Mountain behind us. Every picture looked perfect. Every story felt warm. Yet something deep inside me stayed cold. Discharge day finally came. Kwame wheeled me out in a chair, like I was made of glass. The drive home was slow and careful. He pointed out landmarks. "That's the church where we got married in 2018. 500 guests. Your father finally approved after I paid his bride price with pride. Your mother cried the whole ceremony. Our house was stunning, a modern 2-story building with cream and terracotta walls, a garden bursting with hibiscus, ixora, and birds of paradise that I apparently planted myself." He carried me over the threshold, strong arms around me. "Welcome home, Mrs. Okoro," he whispered, voice thick. He laid me on our king-sized bed, covered in fresh white sheets. The room smelled of lavender. Photos covered the walls. Our wedding, vacations in Dubai, London, Accra. In every frame I was smiling like the happiest woman alive. "I cooked your favorites," he said, hurrying downstairs and returning with a tray. Jollof rice steaming with perfect party-style smokiness, fried plantain golden and sweet, spicy chicken stew, and a side of coleslaw. Extra pepper, just how my Amina likes it. I ate slowly. He watched me with such devotion it almost hurt. "You're too good to me," I murmured. He shook his head. "After what you went through, nothing is too much. I took indefinite leave from the company. My only job now is loving you back to health." That night I couldn't sleep. Kwame's arm was heavy across my waist, protective. But flashes kept coming. A woman shouting? My own voice? "I can't take your lies anymore, Kwame." Then the sound of rain and screeching tires. I woke up gasping. He pulled me closer. "Shh, my love. I'm here. No more bad dreams." The next 3 weeks were a masterclass in perfect husband behavior. Every morning Kwame woke at 5:30, prayed loudly in the living room, then brought me a kara and pap with honey. He massaged my temples when headaches struck. He read chapters from my favorite Chimamanda books aloud. In the evenings he played old videos. "Look at this one," he said one night, cuddling me on the couch. The TV showed us at a 2022 Christmas party. I was in a stunning red dress, dancing with him under colorful lights. "You outdanced everyone that night. Even my mother admitted you were the star." I laughed along, but later, when he went to shower, I wandered into the study. My personal drawer wasn't locked. Inside were 5 leather journals, years neatly written on the spines. My handwriting. My heart started racing. I opened the 2024 journal with trembling fingers. January 8th, 2024. Kwame came home at 2 a.m. Again, shirt smelling of sweet perfume that isn't mine. When I asked, he got angry and said I was insecure. I'm tired of being called insecure for noticing the obvious. February 1st. I hired a private investigator yesterday. Today he sent photos. Kwame and Temi at Southern Sun Hotel, holding hands kissing in the car park. Temi, the same girl who calls him Sir sweetly at every company dinner. I threw up after seeing them. February 20th. Confronted him. He cried real tears, went on his knees, said work pressure and my pressure about having a baby pushed him, promised it was the last time. I forgave him. Again. God, why am I so weak? March 5th. Found out there was Ada in 2021, and that girl from his NIST days he reconnected with online in 2022. 3 affairs in 6 years. I'm done. Lawyer appointment booked for March 11th. Divorce papers almost ready. March 11th. Bags packed in the boot. Divorce documents in the glove box. Tonight after dinner I tell him I'm leaving. I deserve peace. I deserve better than this slow death called marriage. The final entry was dated March 12th, the day of the crash. I closed the journal, chest heaving. Footsteps on the stairs. I barely shoved it back in time. Kwame entered with a smile. "Missed you already. Let's pray together before bed." I knelt beside him, repeating the words. But inside I was screaming. The suspicions multiplied. My phone had almost no old messages. When I asked, Kwame said the crash corrupted the backup. Strange. My wardrobe had clothes I didn't recognize the taste of. Expensive lace I apparently bought but felt foreign against my skin. One evening he left for a quick office errand. I went through his phone. Password still our wedding anniversary. WhatsApp messages from Temi, "Kwame baby. How is the Amnesia woman doing? When can you come over? I miss you" inside me. My stomach clenched so hard I nearly dropped the phone. I forwarded everything to my own new secret email, then deleted the evidence. He returned smelling fresh. Everything okay, my queen? I smiled the sweetest smile I could manage. Never better. Memories began returning in painful fragments. I remembered our early love. Kwame was electric, ambitious project manager at a big oil servicing company. Igbo from a respected family in Onitsha. I was the focused Yoruba marketing executive from Lagos. Our courtship was storybook, weekend flights, surprise flowers, him learning to cook jollof just for me, the proposal at Lekki Conservation Center with a ring so big my friends screamed. Our wedding was legendary. White Mercedes, live Fuji band, Aso Ebi in champagne and gold. Everyone called us #Kwame and Amina goals. The first 3 years were genuine bliss, passionate nights, joint prayers, building this house while planning for children. Then the cracks. His promotion. More travel. Late nights. First affair with a colleague in 2021, I forgave. Second in 2022. I stayed because my mother said divorce is not our culture. Third with Temi, I finally broke. One journal entry destroyed me, lost another pregnancy last month. The doctor said stress. Kwame's stress. I can't bring a child into a home built on lies. I continued the act. Cooked his favorite efforiro and fufu. Danced with him in the living room when he played our playlist. Let him make love to me while my soul detached and planned. But every free moment I devoured the journals. Page after page of pain, evidence, therapy sessions that failed, friends begging me to leave. Then the attic. Kwame suggested we search for honeymoon albums. While he answered a call downstairs, I moved boxes and found a small locked metal case hidden behind insulation. I pried it open with a screwdriver. Inside, official police accident report marked ongoing investigation. Single vehicle. Driver stated he swerved to avoid a dog. However, skid marks suggest possible intentional maneuver. Passenger in critical condition, and a folded note in Kwame's handwriting. She was leaving me tonight. Bags packed. Told me at dinner she had divorce papers. I panicked. If she forgets everything, we can start fresh. I love her too much to let her go. God, forgive this desperate man. My knees buckled. He had caused the crash. He chose to risk killing me rather than lose control. From that moment, the real Amina woke up. I played the loving wife even better. I recorded his late-night phone calls. I met secretly with my old lawyer, Mrs. Adebayo, who hugged me and said, "We were so close to filing. These journals will bury him." I opened a new account in my maiden name, Amina Adeyemi, and slowly moved money. I reconnected with my best friend Ifeoma. She visited one afternoon when Kwame was at a meeting. We cried in the kitchen for almost an hour. "He almost killed you to keep you," Ifeoma whispered. "You were my strongest sister. Now finish him." We planned every step. I started dropping gentle bombs. "Kwame, why does Temi still call the house phone?" He paled. "Office matters, nothing serious." I smiled. "Of course not." I faked memory recovery gradually. I remembered our first Valentine's. You bought me the red dress and took me to the Skyview restaurant. He cried happy tears and held me tight. My Amina is coming home. But the new Amina was a lioness. The anniversary dinner was the final act. The table was perfect. Candles, flowers, his favorite dishes. He was beaming, pouring wine. Halfway through, I slid the 2024 journal across the table. Read the March entries. Out loud, his fork froze midair. "Amina, where did you get this? Read." Voice shaking. He read my words of pain, the evidence of cheating, the plan to leave. His face turned ash gray. I pressed play on my phone. His own recorded voice, "Temi, relax. Once her memory is completely gone, the house, the accounts, everything is ours. She'll never remember how much she hated me." He dropped to his knees, tears streaming. It was fear. "I love you too much, Amina. I couldn't lose you. Please, we can renew our vows. Start over. I stood tall, voice ice. You chose to crash the car rather than let me walk away with my dignity. You stole years of my life. Tonight I take everything back. The doorbell rang. 2 police officers and my lawyer stood there. Warrants ready. Evidence files thick with journals, bank statements, screenshots, Temi's statement after she was offered immunity, and the reopened accident case now classified as attempted murder. Kwame was handcuffed right there in the dining room, still in his dinner shirt, sobbing like a child. Amina, you're my wife. Don't do this. I walked close, looked him dead in the eyes, and whispered, I was your wife. Now, I'm the woman who ended you. The trial lasted 4 months. It was front-page news in Lagos. His family abandoned him when the journals were read in court. Temi testified against him, crying about how he promised to leave me. The judge called it one of the most calculated betrayals he had seen. Kwame got 18 years. Attempted murder, domestic abuse, financial crimes. I sold the Ikoyi house, moved to a peaceful sea-facing apartment in Calabar, started my own successful digital marketing agency, traveled, laughed again, dated good men who actually respected me, rebuilt my life brick by brick. Kwame writes long letters from prison, pages of apologies, Bible verses, promises to change. I burn every single one in my backyard while drinking wine and watching the ocean. Revenge is not loud screaming. It is quiet mornings with peace. It is knowing the man who tried to erase me now rots in a cell while I thrive. That, my dear friends, is how the woman who forgot her pain remembered her power. If you stayed with me until the very end of this long story, you are now part of this channel family. Smash the subscribe button and turn on notifications for more raw, emotional, high-stakes betrayal and sweet revenge stories that feel like real Nollywood thrillers mixed with Netflix-level suspense. Comment below. What would you do if you woke up married to a man who tried to kill you to hide his cheating? Would you play the perfect wife like Amina, or confront him immediately? Share your own painful relationship stories or revenge ideas. I read every single comment. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one, where a wife discovers her husband has been living a double life with another family for 10 years. Stay blessed, stay strong, and never let anyone steal your peace.